Welcome to Biohacking with Brittany. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I am so excited to be doing another Q&A episode because I just love diving into the questions that you give me in my DMs. You can message me on Instagram at any time, BioHackingBrittany, and I would absolutely love to help you out and chat about everything that you are thinking about in terms of health and wellness and, optimizing everything from the inside out. And so these questions kind of come from my DMs. I screenshot them throughout the week, and then I end up, collecting them and doing a little episode every Friday. And so this week we are covering the current supplements I am taking and why. Can children and kids take oregano oil, and what is a safer alternative? And how can you naturally treat baby acne? What causes it? Everything along those lines. I love these episodes because they give me a chance to share the latest research, my personal approach, and some biohacking strategies that align with longevity, gut health, and postpartum recovery. All things I know you love to geek out on with me. But before we dive in, a quick shout out to today's sponsors. Shout out to Calroy Health Sciences, my absolute go-to for cardiovascular supplements. These are cutting-edge supplements that focus on cardiovascular health, circulation, and endothelial function. I'm always looking for ways to support blood flow, heart health, and honestly, overall longevity. And their products are backed by science to do just that. I actually have both of my parents now on these as well. And a shout out to BiOptimizers, specifically their mushroom breakthrough powder. This is so tasty. I seriously have this every single day, midday, around 2:00. And it is a functional mushroom blend, and it is a staple for focus, immune support, and gut health. It's packed with lion's mane for brain function, reishi for stress resilience, and chaga for antioxidants, honestly making it the perfect daily biohack. I will link both Calroy Health Sciences and BiOptimizers in my show notes for you to check out. They are, love both of the brands, love the people behind them. And let's dive into today's Q&A. All right, this is such a big question. This woman wrote in, she's like, what are the current supplements you're taking? Please do a podcast episode on this. I know everyone wants to know. And I responded to her being like, are you talking about like all of them? Or are you just asking like about a specific topic like gut health or longevity or something like that? And she like wanted the full list. So I was like, sure, why not? Let's talk about it. So these are the current ones I'm taking right now as a reflection of what is going on with my health. I do want to point that out because I do change what I'm taking. I obviously have my staples day to day, but with certain things that are happening in my health right now, it's different and it's not always going to look like that. And that is actually the point of supplementation in general. We do not want to be taking 50 supplements every single day for the rest of our life because we feel like it's needed. They're supposed to be there as a supplement, like as in addition to your diet and lifestyle to kind of help you get that edge or help you heal or become healthier or however you want to look at it. So I've kind of broken it up into 4 different categories and kind of my key goals around my health right now. First and foremost would be number 1, which is postpartum recovery and hormonal balance. My baby's almost 8 months, and this is still a big priority for me, especially as I'm going through a weird kind of transition phase right now, which is beyond the scope of this episode, but I am really still trying to support my body as I am healing from birth and from pregnancy and during breastfeeding, as well as like so many nutrients and energy is constantly being depleted from my body. So postpartum is one of the most nutrient depleting times in a woman's life, yet it is really not often thought about when we talk about supporting it nutritionally or even supporting it with supplements. So I am still taking my prenatal. I use the needed prenatal. And before you go and like Google all this or write all of this down, it will be in the show notes. I will link to every single thing I talk about today, and with discount codes and affiliate links and all of that, if I have it, so that you can save. So don't worry about that. So I'm taking the needed prenatal. This is what I took during pregnancy, and it's what I'm taking postpartum. And even though my pregnancy is over, postpartum and breastfeeding demand even higher levels of key nutrients like DHA, iron, folates, and choline. Studies actually show that nutrient deficiencies in postpartum moms are linked to postpartum depression, low energy, and hormonal imbalances. This is something that is very much on my radar right now. I feel like I'm going through a bit of like winter blues vibe, again, beyond the scope of this episode. And so I actually kind of wasn't really on it as much for taking my prenatals as I should have been. And so I am now very much like on it, taking it every single day, and love this prenatal. All of the nutrients in the needed prenatal are the most absorbable forms. It is the methylated versions of B vitamins. It has the right amount of different nutrients in it. And if you actually go to their website, they explain why exactly there are the certain amounts of nutrients in their supplements compared to other supplements. Now, mind you, I'm going to be totally honest, you have to take 8 capsules for this prenatal to get the full dosage of what's recommended. For me, that's not a problem. It was a problem first trimester when I was nauseous and couldn't swallow anything. They do have a powder version for that very reason. So you can get the powder if you want, but the capsules are great. Then I am taking fermented cod liver oil by a brand called Green Pasture. This is the only fermented cod liver oil I have ever found. Fermented really does matter in the sense when we're talking about cod liver oil and we're talking about omega-3s and fatty acids. Because they are fermented, they are not processed under high heat. And so therefore they're actually not denatured and they are in their proper form, and it is much more absorbable in the body. I found out about this brand Green Pasture from, I think it was the Wise Traditions podcast, which is the one that really focuses on eating ancestral ways and also focusing on the Weston A. Price Foundation and the way that they recommend that you eat. In a couple of the books that I have on the Weston A. Price Foundation and that way of living and eating, they also mention Green Pasture, the brand. So this is what I use now. And the most recent one I bought, because my other one ran out, is just straight cod liver oil. There's no flavoring or anything in that. And so that's actually the one that I will start giving my son as well. And it comes with a little dropper. So I'll just like drop it into his mouth and he loves it. We have absolutely no issues, by the way. But I've also been giving him cod liver oil probably since he was like, I don't know, maybe 4 months old. So I think he's just probably used to the taste of it. So why do I take it? Provides omega-3s, vitamin A and vitamin D for brain health, immune function, and reducing postpartum inflammation. And your inflammation is quite high, especially in the first few months postpartum. I got tested and my inflammation was higher 3 months postpartum than it was during pregnancy. Now, mind you, I'm due for another test, so I should do another one through SciFox. That's who I'm doing my testing through lately. And I would love to like hopefully see that my biomarkers are a bit lower for inflammation now. But cod liver oil is great because it has omega-3, vitamin A, and vitamin D in it. So it's not just like you're taking a single nutrient. It's much more of like a whole foods approach, which I also love. DHA from cod liver oil has been shown to support cognitive function and protect against postpartum mood disorders, which I briefly talked about. All right. Then we have magnesium. I could tell you that when I didn't have my magnesium and I ran out for a couple months, I could feel it. Okay, so I take the BiOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough. I think this is one of the most popular ones on the market because it has all 7 types of magnesium in it. I have been taking this for, oh my gosh, this actually might be my 3rd year taking it. Magnesium is absolutely essential for hormonal regulation, muscle relaxation, and stress resilience. It supports deep sleep and is crucial during postpartum for everything that I just said. If you're pregnant for the first time, if you're on your fertility journey, highly suggest getting magnesium and stocking up because once postpartum hits, let me tell you, you need it for everything. Hormonal regulation, you want your period back? Magnesium. You have sore muscles from carrying your baby? Magnesium. You're stressed out because you're doing so much every single day? Magnesium, okay? And it supports deep sleep. And we all know sleep is a struggle during postpartum as well. Up to 60% of adults are magnesium deficient, which is linked to higher stress levels, anxiety, and poor sleep quality. So really, it cannot be understated how important magnesium is in our lives. I take it, my husband takes it, my whole family takes it. I kind of just recommend it to every single person because it's so, so important. Okay, then we have the second category is gut health and microbiome optimization. This is a big one right now. I'm taking multiple things in this space. And the reasoning is that I had my gut health tested. Again, it's beyond the scope of this podcast episode today because I am not ready to share about it yet because I'm still kind of gathering my thoughts and doing research. And I actually have a meeting tomorrow with the team behind TinyHealth, who I did my test with. And I was a little shocked by a couple of my results, but they actually make sense. So I'm currently on a more intense gut health protocol than I probably would be or would recommend to the average person. This protocol I'm on right now is a direct result from me testing my stool, testing my gut, and taking a look at the good bacteria I have, the bad bacteria, overgrowth, and everything like that. Okay, so these are the probiotics that I am taking. A healthy gut is the foundation of postpartum recovery, immune function, and longevity. And a big part of a healthy gut is probiotics. So I am on quite a few, looking at them right now in this little basket of supplements I have. I'm on quite a few. So the first one I take is Akkermansia. And this is by the company Pendulum. I am not an affiliate with them at all. You have probably heard a lot about Akkermansia lately. It is known for metabolism, weight loss, weight management. A lot of people kind of compare it to GLP-1 regulators or inhibitors and, like Ozempic, that type of thing. And I actually did a whole podcast comparing the two. And I am really glad I've actually been taking it. So I heard about Akkermansia, I think a few months ago. Actually, I heard someone talk about how a lot of women who struggle with postpartum weight loss or weight management who can't seem to lose the baby weight, whatever you want to say. And I'm not saying that you should or anything like that. But if that is something that you are struggling with, this person on this podcast was saying a lot of the time, especially after C-section, they've actually wiped out the Akkermansia probiotic, which is something that really is responsible for our metabolic health. And women during postpartum, if they add this back in, they can actually see that weight management and that metabolism support come back. Now, when I heard that, I was like, that's probably me. You know what? I had a C-section and I want to support my gut health. So I got on it. I think it was before Christmas, maybe around November. So I've been on it for a few months. And when I did my TinyHealth gut test, it actually showed that my Akkermansia levels were low. And I did that test, I I think it was around the time when maybe I had started it, but I was definitely not a few months into taking it as I am right now. So I'm so glad that I actually started it around the same time before I even got my results back, and I've been on it. And because I was right, my levels were low. So when I retest in a few months, I'm curious to kind of see where that is at. And, on the flip side, my husband, we also had his gut health tested and his bacteria tested, and he has really healthy levels of Akkermansia. And it makes sense. He has a very strong metabolism. He's always been quite trim himself. And so it was really great to see that on his level. So if you are somebody who has struggled with weight management or metabolism or anything like that, and you can't seem to move the needle, and you've done everything in terms of like nutrition, lifestyle, exercise, sleep, stress management, Akkermansia might be something that can actually support you. Did you know your cardiovascular health is at the core of your overall well-being? That's why I'm so excited to share Calroy Health Sciences with you, because they have created cutting-edge supplements that are perfect for anyone looking to optimize heart health, boost energy, and improve circulation, all backed by science and designed with your wellness in mind. There are two standout products, Arterisol HP and Vasconox HP, which work together to optimize your cardiovascular health. Arterisol HP is made with Monitum RS, which is an ingredient shown to protect and restore the glycocalyx, which is the delicate lining of your blood vessels and is essential for healthy circulation and blood flow. Then we have Vasconox HP, which supports nitric oxide levels, helping to relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and increase energy. Whether you're working out, managing stress, or just keeping up with your daily life, this duo has you covered, especially if you are a new mama like me. And here's the best part. You can save over $50 when you bundle these two together at calroy.com/Brittany. That's CALROY.com/Brittany. What's even better is you can actually order a 3-pack. And when you do that, you get a free canister of their 2-in-1 nitric oxide test strips. So you can actually take a look at your levels and see how well you're doing. How cool is that? These test strips are a complete game changer for tracking your health. They measure your nitric oxide levels for valuable insights so you can see improvements over time. And as biohackers and people who love optimal health, we love to test and make sure we actually see improvement in our data. So if you're ready to take control of your cardiovascular health, you can visit calroy.com/Brittany and grab this bundle now. I am so excited about this offer. That's Calroy, spelled CALROY.com/Brittany, and I highly recommend it. Your heart and your future self will thank you. Next up is the seed probiotic. In total disclosure, I just got this delivered to my house today, like the day of this recording. Seed probiotic is something that has been everywhere on social media and podcast ads and, kind of everywhere in this space. And it supports digestion, skin health, and immune resilience. Now, I've heard of seed many times, and I was like, I don't really need to take that. I take other probiotics. However, once I got my TinyHealth results back, I realized that there were some strains of bacteria that was in the seed probiotic that I needed to be taking, different strains of bifidobacterium, and same with my husband, who's actually very low in bifidobacteria. And so we have just started that. I can't speak to its functioning as of yet because it's like literally day 1 for me today. But it does support, like I said, digestion, skin health, immune resilience. The capsule of the seed supplement is actually a prebiotic. So it feeds the probiotic that's inside of it, which is a really cool mechanism that they have designed. Next up is a probiotic called Florastor. And the probiotic in it is, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to try to pronounce this. Saccharomyces boulardii, I think is how you say it. And this is a yeast-based probiotic that prevents gut inflammation. I don't want to get too much into it, right? Because it's just there's so much to say about it. But basically, I have some bacteria in me that's like not great and it's disruptive. And Saccharomyces is one of the bacteria that you can take that can fight this bad bacteria and reduce gut inflammation. So I've been on this for probably a week and a half, and I'll continue until the bottle's done for the next couple months and then retest. This is also the bacteria that people take when they travel. So if you ever see those like probiotics for like travelers, diarrhea, Florastor is one of the main ones that people take for that. I got it on Amazon. I will link it in the show notes, and it can help with like digestion overload or diarrhea or, anything related to that. And obviously reduces inflammation, which is very important. Next up, I take P3OM by BiOptimizers. This is a high-performance probiotic designed to enhance protein digestion and muscle recovery. This one is rooted in lactobacillus. And so I have been taking this for a long time, actually, probably a couple of years. And when I did my TinyHealth gut test, lo and behold, my lactobacillus levels were actually really great. So this one, again, if you are somebody who is focused on fitness and working out, muscle recovery, protein digestion, strongly recommend you get on this high performance probiotic. I have a discount code with BiOptimizers. BioHackingBrittany will get you all 10% off of everything. So there is like so much really here. I mean, I just told you about like 4 different probiotics I'm on, which have multiple different strains in it, because I'm really focused on healing my gut after my C-section, after my skin has been inflamed with what I thought was eczema, and after I found out I have had like this bad bacteria growing in me, and I really need to kind of wipe it out. And a big part of that is replenishing my gut microbiome with taking probiotics. In terms of also gut health and what else I take for, my gut, I do take digestive enzymes. The ones I take are called Masszymes by BiOptimizers. Again, favorite brand. And why do I take them? It supports nutrient absorption, bloating relief, and protein breakdown. Enzymes like protease, lipase improve digestion and reduce food intolerances. So my play with this is like, yes, it's in my basket of supplements that I take, but I really only take digestive enzymes when I'm eating things that are higher in carbohydrates, gluten, lactose, sugar. If I go out for a dinner, like a meal, if I eat fast food, which is not very often, or anything kind of along the lines of like, this isn't super clean or, super healthy for me, then I definitely take them. And I take a lot, like I'll take 5 or 6 with a meal, just to really help with that breakdown of food. If you're somebody who deals with a lot of bloating, I would strongly suggest getting digestive enzymes and starting to use them. If you're dealing with food intolerances, gluten, lactose, those are the big ones, soy even, I would strongly suggest taking them as well. I am such a component for digestive enzymes. I have a bottle in my car. I have one in my office. I have one downstairs. I have one in my bag. My husband uses them. My brothers use them. I think everybody really should be on them. Okay. Next up, we have the category of longevity and cellular anti-aging. Everybody freaking loves this category. If you're a biohacker, you're like, how could I live to be 180? That's not what I say, but I know a lot of biohackers love to say that. I personally don't care about living to be 180, but maybe that is something that a typical 31-year-old would say, but it's not really on my, if I created a vision board on Pinterest, it doesn't have 180 years old on there right now. That is for sure. However, longevity is still important. And I think there is something to be said about increasing your health span versus your lifespan. And so I know so many of us are not just focused on feeling good today, but want to extend that health span. So these are some of the supplements I take to target cellular repair, mitochondrial function, and metabolic optimization. Mind you, those 3 things are different They each could be a podcast episode in their own. This is currently what I'm taking. So Fatty 15, this is the C15 essential fatty acid. This is a cellular longevity support supplement, and it's unique. I don't know if I've actually seen C15 from any other brand other than Fatty 15. And it supports mitochondrial health, metabolic function, and reduces systemic inflammation. I've done a couple episodes with the founders at Fatty 15. Super cool. First essential fatty acid found in 90 years since omega-3s. More effective, arguably, than omega-3s. Really, really interesting science coming out. I actually did a podcast about taking this supplement while I was pregnant and breastfeeding, and the correlation between that and the development of my kid, and looking at the science of like, if mama takes it during pregnancy and when breastfeeding, does it equal higher levels in offspring? And are they then healthier? Do they develop faster? That type of thing. Really interesting. Did a whole podcast episode on it. Go check that out if that's your jam. That's what you're interested in. But it's really cool. It is a unique essential fatty acid that supports mitochondrial health, metabolic function, reduces systemic inflammation. And science shows that C15 improves longevity markers and strengthens cellular membranes. So there's a lot of science behind it. And I love the people at Fatty 15. I have a discount code with them. I think if you're a biohacker, this is definitely one of the supplements that you should be taking. And I love seeing them become more and more popular. I think I've been taking it for a year and a half now. They're just big brand that's a smaller brand that's growing into quite a big brand, which is really cool to see. Okay, next up in terms of longevity is NOVOS, NOVOS Core and NOVOS Boost. This is for anti-aging and cellular repair. NOVOS is like next level. Like this is a very next level supplement. I don't know how else to even word it. NOVOS is one of the most advanced longevity formulations I've ever seen. It's designed to extend health span by targeting the 10 hallmarks of aging. I think I actually did a podcast with them a while ago, but they are coming back on the show in the spring. And their supplements are fascinating. It contains Quercetin, NMN, and Resveratrol, which activates serotonins, boost NAD+, and promote autophagy, all essential for cellular anti-aging. I love NOVOS Core. I took it a couple years ago and then I went off of it and now I'm back on it. I didn't take it during pregnancy, to be honest, but I am breastfeeding and I am taking it. So, to each their own. I love it. And there's a couple of reasons why I love it. I think if you were to take a single supplement targeting aging, targeting longevity, NOVOS would be what I would recommend because it targets the 10 hallmarks of aging. Although, mind you, I think there's actually 12 hallmarks of aging now, but it has everything in it in one packet that you could possibly need. So you are looking at aging and all the different ways that we age on a cellular level, and you're targeting each of them in one supplement. And that is very impressive. What I like about it is that it is a packet. So it's got like a powder in it. It's orange and it tastes amazing. And what I also noticed with it, and I actually remember talking to the founders years ago on my podcast about this, is that I actually feel energized after I take it. So there's like some supplements you take that like work like slowly over time, day in and day out, and then you kind of reap the benefits a few months later, and it's like little steps. I think NOVOS does that, but I also feel an energy boost like literally while I'm drinking it. So much so that I look forward to drinking it every single day. So I don't know what they've added to it. Like, I don't know if it's then the NMN. It could be that I feel that like energetic boost, but I'm obsessed. And yeah, I think if I could subscribe to one longevity supplement for the rest of my life, it would be NOVOS. I think it's expensive. Like, I don't even remember. I can pull it up. Let's see what it says. Just like out of pure authenticity on this show. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is in USD. if you subscribe quarterly, it is $132 a box USD, and that's discounted. That's 12% discount. Now let's see. So let's say, so it says $4.40 per day. I mean, I'm really breaking this down for this one supplement. Maybe I should have done this for all of them. But let's see. So let's add this to my cart. What does it say? Oh, you can't even subscribe in Canada. Being in the States must be nice in terms of like access to freaking the supplements that you have access to. All right. Let's see if my discount code works. Look at that. Discounted for you, people. You're welcome. Okay. So I do have a discount code. And I will link it in the show notes. I love NOVOS. I'm just starting to partner with them. Like I said, I think they're really cool. So definitely take a look at it. Use my discount code, use my link because it's not cheap, but still really cool. Really, really cool. Again, if I was going to take one longevity supplement, it would be that. Don't tell anybody else I said that. Okay. Lately, we've all been reminded how important it is to stay sharp no matter how old we are. We really can't let the years slow down our mental game. Whether we're 30, 40, 80, we can choose to feel our best. If you've noticed that your brain feels a bit foggy as you age, or even as you're a new mom and you're experiencing mom brain, as they call it, it is time to clear the mental cobwebs. And I can't think of a better and more delicious way to do it than by having my daily dose of Mushroom Breakthrough from BiOptimizers. Mushroom Breakthrough packs a powerful punch with 4 cognitive boosting mushrooms: lion's mane, chaga, cordyceps, and reishi, plus collagen for extra brain support. Lion's mane in particular can increase the levels of BDNF, which is a protein that helps brain cells grow. This is crucial for learning and memory, which typically decline as we age. It's kind of like fertilizer for your brain cells. On top of these incredible benefits, it's also delicious and comes in 3 different flavors that all taste amazing. Give Mushroom Breakthrough a try and feel the difference. I have a glass every single day, and you can do the same. Head to bioptimizers.com/Brittany, and you can use my discount code BIOHACKINGBRITTANY, which is in all capitals, to get your Mushroom Breakthrough for 10% off today. Your future self will thank you. Last but not least, the category that I would talk about is inflammation. Inflammation is something that is on my radar because I got tested during pregnancy and postpartum. My levels were high through Cyfox. So it's something I've always been thinking about. I also have signs of high inflammation. It's better now, but I was having huge skin reactions. I don't want to dive too much into it right now, but like eczema and that type of thing, or what I thought was eczema. And so typically when we see something like that, the skin is very much a window into what is happening internally. And for me personally, I feel like I knew it was related to my inflammation. So with inflammation, there's a bunch of ways you can go about it. As someone who's breastfeeding, I have to kind of be a little careful because I don't want to detox in the form of like what we understand of detoxing. Like if I wasn't breastfeeding, I probably would have gone about reducing my inflammation a bit differently now that I'm thinking about it. But I wanted to kind of still support my liver and reduce my inflammation and immune modulation. So I am taking L-Glutathione, Resveratrol again, and Quercetin. And this is by the brand Partiqlar, and I will link it. This is actually their anti-inflammatory bundle. So you can buy all 3 of these supplements together, and they are designed to actually reduce inflammation. So there is a lot of science behind how this does support the liver with this and inflammation and immune modulation. Now, glutathione levels decline as we age, and so we really do want to be taking it in some form. And supplementation has been shown to reduce oxidative stress and improve immune resilience. So I am on this kind of like anti-inflammatory bundle. I will continue these until I run out, probably for the next 5 weeks, and then retest and go from there. Like I said, with all of these supplements, now that I'm like zooming out, a lot of this is related to my gut health test and my blood test from Cyfox that showed what was high, what was low, what biomarkers were good, what were bad, what needed work. And so it's very specific to me and my health right now. And I think that's what yours should be as well. Like, you shouldn't be like, oh, Brittany's taking all of these, I'm going to take all of them, right? Like, that's not the purpose here. The purpose is like, pick and choose what works for you and what you want to work on. If you want to work on longevity and anti-aging, go for it. If you are having serious gut issues, I just gave you so many places to start, so many things that you can take that can really help. So think about that. And of course, like if we're just talking general vitamins and minerals, the prenatal that I take has all of that in there. I am also taking additional vitamin D3, but that is also in the cod liver oil that I'm taking. So I'm not taking separate, B vitamins and vitamin A and vitamin E. Like it's all kind of in the other places that I am taking things. And I also do think food is a major component to this. And I am eating a lot of healthy food that is rich in these things as well. Okay, question number 2. So, can kids take oregano oil? Why not? What's a replacement? This is a great question. Oregano oil is incredibly potent and it is a great natural antimicrobial, antibacterial, but it is not recommended for young children, especially infants. I posted about this recently on my stories, and so this person was responding to that story asking about it. I don't think I would give my kid oregano. I think it's too strong, and especially a baby, like definitely not. Also, even the taste is very strong. Like I take when I've been kind of killing off this bad bacteria, I've been doing 4 drops in water, and this is like not something this is not something I would do with my son. So oregano oil, why is it not great for kids? Number 1, it disrupts the gut microbiome. So it kills good and bad bacteria. Oregano oil is not specific. Oregano is not specific as an antimicrobial. It's not something that goes in and says, oh, this is bad bacteria, I'm going to kill you. But no, I'm going to leave the good guys. No, it works like an antibiotic. It just wipes out whatever is around it. So it kills good and bad. And this is concerning since 70% of the immune system is in the gut. So even when I have just gone through this oregano oil protocol that I put myself on, I did it for 10 days only, and that is it. The second reason would be that it is just too strong for their systems because it contains carvacrol and thymol. These are both really, really potent, and they are harsh on immature digestive systems and liver functioning. Last but not least, there is the potential for skin and mucosal irritation. It can cause a burning if not properly diluted. So there's multiple things here that are going on internally, externally, however you might use it, that I just don't think it's appropriate or recommended for kids. Now, there are alternatives that you can take. So these are some of them that are just like a bit more gentler and still effective as immune boosting options. So the first one would be elderberry syrup. We have this, and there's a brand called Gaia Herbs, which makes a really good one. Elderberry has been clinically shown to shorten flu symptoms by 50% and boost immune response. So just make sure you kind of look at how it's sweetened. You don't want to use honey for babies under 1 year old. And there's different sweeteners. We have a couple of different elderberry syrups, and they are really great. The next you can do is something like garlic oil by the brand Herb Farm. Garlic, again, has natural antiviral and antibacterial properties, but it does not disrupt the gut balance like oregano does. So keep this in mind. It's a bit more gentle. I have no experience with garlic oil myself, so I can't say what it would taste like, if it's strong, how a kid might react to it. So definitely look at reviews for that one specifically. You could do something like colostrum. There's the ARMRA colostrum that everybody loves. This supports the gut integrity and immune function by sealing the gut lining and reducing pathogen susceptibility. I've taken this colostrum. I don't know if I would give it to my kid, but you can definitely take a look at this. I know some people do. And then there's probiotic drops. There's a ton of probiotics you can get for kids. This could be a whole Q&A section in itself. But there are infant probiotics like Lactobacillus reuteri that has been shown to reduce colic, reflux, and digestive issues. A lot of people love the brand Mary Ruth's. This is really big in the States. I have not used this brand personally. My baby takes Evivo. I just did a podcast episode with them. Their probiotic is the B. infantis, a certain strain of that. And that is a really great one. And then there's a couple other, baby probiotics you can take as well. That's kind of what my approach would be. I would stay clear of oregano oil until, I would probably, when would I give a kid oregano? Maybe like 12, 13 years old personally. But I don't know, maybe to each their own. Just be very careful, especially with babies. Okay. Last question. This woman, I like her. She actually writes a few questions to me, which is really nice. And she's just had a 7-week-old baby. Congratulations. And she is talking about her baby has started to develop acne. And do you have any insights on causes and treatments of this? I actually just talked about this on my podcast episode. Has it come out yet? No, it's coming out next week. And you're going to hear us briefly discuss acne and the cause of that. Anyway, so neonatal acne affects 20 to 30% of newborns, usually appearing around the 3 to 6 week old mark. And there's a couple of reasons why. Usually it's actually due to hormones and the microbiome shift. So the first reason is the maternal hormones, especially if you are breastfeeding. And this woman who wrote to me actually did say that she's exclusively breastfeeding. And I completely understand this. The hormonal shift postpartum is massive, especially if we're talking about a 7-week-old baby. Estrogen and androgens from pregnancy still circulate in your body's and your baby's system, and this can stimulate oil production. So there's an imbalance in hormones, especially in those first few weeks, the first couple months, and this goes through breast milk and therefore it disrupts their hormones and can cause the baby acne. And then we have the immature skin barrier and microbiome. Newborns are still developing their skin flora, and this can temporarily cause inflammation. Best treatment approaches, when I was talking to the doctor who I interviewed with, that interview is coming out next week, she just said typically for baby acne, she actually does nothing. She just lets it be, and it kind of goes away after the first couple of months. That's probably what I would recommend as well. I don't necessarily think you really need to do anything drastic. And breast milk has wonderful, wonderful natural healing properties to it. So breast milk contains lactoferrin, lysozymes, and immunoglobulins, which help reduce inflammation and fight bacteria, which is great, which is helping. There is probiotic skincare, things like Mother Dirt, AO Plus Mist, and studies have shown that topical probiotics can restore the skin microbiome and reduce inflammation. Again, do you want to put that on your baby's skin? That's your personal choice. And then some things that I definitely would do just to kind of reduce any inflammation or toxic load would be making sure that the things that you're using in your house are non-toxic. So switching to non-toxic laundry detergent. There's Branch Basics, Molly's Suds. I use Attitude, which is a Canadian brand, which is super clean, and it's EWG certified. And there's no fragrances or chemicals that can irritate delicate skin. This also applies if you're dealing with diaper rash as well, which is a whole nother topic. But yes. And since this mama is exclusively breastfeeding, you could also watch what you eat and see if that makes an impact as well. So reduce dairy and inflammatory foods. So some babies react to dairy proteins in breast milk. I mean, breast milk already has lactose in it, but it also has lactase in it, which digests the lactose. But sometimes if mama does reduce her dairy and her other inflammatory foods, there can be a benefit. So try eliminating dairy, soy, or processed seed oils and monitor changes. Most cases of baby acne resolve on their own within 6 to 8 weeks. So honestly, try not to worry about it that much. If your baby's 6 months old, different story. But these early months, try not to worry about it that much. Try to balance your own hormones yourself through continuing to take your prenatal, watching what you eat, making sure you're drinking enough clean, filtered water. Try to get a little bit of movement into your body. Watch the stress levels. Try to get some sleep. Basic like biohacking, wellness, self-care. And I think that's kind of like all you really can do. Okay, that wraps up today's Q&A. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to the show, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit. Thank you so much for tuning into Biohacking with Brittany, and I will see you next week for another episode and next Friday for another Q&A. If you have any health questions, you know where to find me at BioHackingBrittany on Instagram. And all of these links, there's going to be a bunch for this one, will be in the show notes and on my website, biohackingbrittany.com, so you can find everything super easily. Thanks for listening to another episode of Biohacking with Brittany. If you're interested in finding the show notes or the sponsors for this episode, you can do so on my website, which is biohackingbrittany.com. Remember to follow me on Instagram, where I'm most active. My handle is @biohackingbrittany. And if you're interested in working together and you want to email me directly, you can do that. My email is info@biohackingbrittany.com. And I look forward to hearing from you and having you tune in next week.